since, E-Bygum.
E-Bygum, that's their plan, son.
Still to come on Gamepad, fast bikes, gorgeous graphics, and the Terminator. But before that, time to improve your rankings as Command & Conquer Generals is game on. Generals is the latest game in the 17 million selling Command & Conquer franchise. Well, I knew war was popular, but 17 million? Anyway, in the British Army, General isn't the highest ranking officer. What rank is immediately above General? We'll be back with the answer after the break. Welcome back to Gamepad, reporting to you from the battlefield of Command & Conquer Generals. Before the break, we ordered you to tell us the rank immediately above General in the British Army. Well, Sir to a General is the Field Marshal, who probably has a posher accent too. But since he's got his finger on the button of mass destruction...
GLA forces eliminated. All units return to base.
We say, very good, sir. Carry on, sir. I'm Violet Berlin, and this is Gamepad, Britain's favourite games show. And now a chart of one of Britain's favourite pastimes. No, not spreadsheets, the GGs. It's our top 3 horse racing sims. You might not know that there were any horse racing sims, but here's one for starters. It might look as dull as, well, the Championship Manager series of games springs to mind, but hang on, because if you're into racing, you'll find this interesting, and if you're not, it's just plain funny. In Stable Masters, you're allotted a stable of medium ability horses, and it's up to you to feed them, train them, select their jockeys, enter them for competitions, and eventually lead them to victory. Wait for it, wait for it. Look, at last, something's happening. Well, it's something. On race day, you can also take part in the betting, of course. Apparently, it's important to treat each horse as an individual, feeding them appropriately and taking note of their preferred running style. Again, like Championship Manager then. Calm down, I'm only joking. At number 2 in the Gamepad chart of horse racing sims, G1 Jockey. And here's something I thought I'd never say on television. Horses' bums. Well, there are a lot of them. Look. No, that's too long now. It's starting to feel a bit weird. Avert your gaze to the speed, stamina and potential meters on the top right. Basically, spurring your horse on increases its speed, but if you go too fast, you'll lose stamina and slow right down. You start out as a rookie jockey. To begin with, you're hard pushed to find anyone who'll let you ride their horse. But do well and put in the hours training, and you'll gradually build up a reputation that'll take you all the way to the top. But don't expect to have a punt in your GG, because in G1 Jockey there is no betting. Yes, it's a horse racing sim with no odds. How odd. At number 1 in the essential chart of horse racing sims, iRace. Not a game you can buy for your console or computer, but a website and a digital TV channel that lets you join in.
Nasty Target on the right outside from Frank's Folly on the inside. Then comes Blue Ranger holding a position in third. They're pulled through by the 4 wins.
Viewers can buy and name horses, then enter them into races which are run on TV every 10 minutes.
Hello, I'm Gigi, the iRace stable girl and one of our team of presenters. I'll be helping explain to viewers how the service works.
This Nasty Target is kicked on again from in second place. Rocky Gorge making a good progress.
A computer takes information on things like track condition and the horse's ability and form and uses it to generate a live race, which means there's no cheating. And you can win real money! And lose it too, it says here, in small print.
Mrs. Thompson at Bishop Briggs. Nasty Tiger's going to win in Gistel here.
There have been some really playable bike games over the years, Motocross Maniacs, Manx TT, Excite Bike. But the latest batch seems to be trickier than juggling eels while standing on ball bearings. Here to make biking look easy is John Attaway from Official Xbox magazine.
Hi, I'm John Attaway and I'm going to be showing you a crash course on MotoGP Ultimate Racing technology. Possibly the greatest thing about it is that every control of the bike is used with an analogue control on the Xbox pad. So your front and rear brakes you've got gradual control of on the triggers. And what that means is that you've just got an amazing amount of control over each aspect of the bike's handling, which is where the fun comes from. What I'm going to be doing is showing you the best way to get around the course. Ideally you want to slow down to just the right amount and then you can bank around the corner in one very smooth motion, so you don't have to mess up with your racing line too much, and that's the key to taking it nice and fast. You can tweak the line very precisely when you know what you're doing. There I'm just using the back brake very lightly. If you do it too much you'll fall off, but you can use the back brake to slide the back wheel out a tiny bit and that tightens your line around the corner. Generally speaking, it's a better idea if you can try and apply both brakes fairly evenly, because otherwise your rider comes unstable and you're more likely to fall off. The other technique that takes a little bit of getting used to is the power slide, which allows you to put your back wheel in the spin and let you alter your line without having to slow down, and again that will lead to faster lap times. And what you need to do for the power slide is to let your thumb off the acceleration on the right stick before very quickly reapplying it again, and the sudden jolt will put the back wheel in the spin. Okay, let off, quickly reapply, and there you go, he's in the spin, and I've managed to keep my speed up and change my line. And you can tell if you're doing it because you'll feel the pad rumble, and you'll also see the back wheel slide out and leave a bit of rubber behind you there. Okay, so with these tips you should be more Barry Sheene than Evel Knievel by now.
In recent years, prequels have become almost as popular as sequels, especially in science fiction. Star Wars and Star Trek have got them, and now the Terminator series has got one as well, only this one's a game. This prequel is Terminator: Dawn of Fate. Terminator: Dawn of Fate is set in the future, but just before all the time travelling of the movies.
Looks like it's blocked, Reese.
Playing as Kyle Reese, or as a couple of other officers in John Connor's Resistance, you play a role in the battle against the killing machines with human faces and the well out of order Skynet. In each part of the game you'll set missions like planting explosives and activating switches, but it doesn't always matter if you pull them off or not. Your performance in mowing down the legions of different Terminator models that come after you is far more vital. Trashing the metal men gains you points, which can then be used to upgrade weapons, armour and health. This first-person view is not typical of most of the action. Usually, you get a third-person view.
Here comes another one.
And see your character standing in the scene. This is fine when there's not much going on, but you've no control over the camera angle and when it switches, which certainly isn't what you want when you're in the thick of things. So when we could, we switched to first-person view, although you can only do this when you're standing still. Like the Terminator movies, Dawn of Fate is an all-out action game.
Hold your fire for a clear shot.
And there's plenty of atmosphere. Unlike the movies, the plot is so simple it's barely worth a mention.
We tried to run through. Too many of them. They moved too quick. Just saw flashes. Jose got burned to a crisp. I fell back.
If you get this game to fill in on some Terminator history, you might be disappointed. But if the idea of mindless shooting appeals, this game pretty much guarantees a constant stream of respawning gun fodder. They absolutely will not stop. Well, they are Terminators. But we'd have liked fewer enemies that were harder to kill. Up next, for instance, ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Terminator destroyed by a kick. Watch. Ha! Call me a pedant, but I just don't think that's right. Ah well, one thing's for sure. This licence will be back.
Gamepad.
And so will I, next time on Gamepad, along with Conflict Desert Storm. If you find the other side